Today we are going to look at the MVP of the previous month. The world moves at such a fast pace that we often forget what we had for breakfast this morning if we even remembered to eat.
Look at this. Look at this. It's perfect. Chicago is perfect.
So when we think back to 4 weeks ago, it's like a distant memory. Can you believe that Roman Reigns won his Ula Fala back just last month? Doesn't that seem like a lifetime ago? Yeah, so that's why I like to do this at the beginning of every month. We look back at the previous month and we're like, okay, who was the most valuable player of the tag teams, the mid-cards, the men, the women, everything. So let's get started. We're in February right now, so everything that happened in January qualifies. So Royal Rumble does not qualify. We'll talk about Royal Rumble in March. So what happened in January? Who's going to be our male mid-card MVP? Almost went with Penta. I would say Penta made the biggest splash and definitely made a name for himself, got people talking, definitely worthy of discussion of being the MVP. However, all he did was kind of just wrestle a bunch and just get people talking, which is amazing, and that's what you want to do when you're debuting. But when it comes to most valuable overall, I'm gonna have to go with Jacob Fatu.
Okay, I see you, Webber. I know what you've done.
Solo Sikoa, unfortunately, he lost his Ula Fala and Roman Reigns got it back. So that means, Jacob, what was going to happen with him? We all were afraid that he would just get lost in the shuffle. Nope, he just stepped up and started beating the crap out of everybody. Jacob Fatu, he instantly gets involved with LA Knight and starts beating him up, costing him a match. Then he gets into a showdown with Braun Strowman. They get into a brawl. They have a match at Saturday night's main event, and what happens? He completely destroys him. On national TV, Jacob Fatu is making Braun Strowman just bleed and he's just laid out. And then what does he do the next week? He steps up to Damian Priest and is like, you're from the streets? I'm actually from the streets. And it's just Jacob Fatu was all over the place. He lost his Solo Sikoa. He lost his tribal chief, but it didn't slow him down. In fact, it let him off the leash. And now him and Tama Tonga, looks like Tama Tonga is under him now. They're just going crazy. They're going ham. Jacob Fatu all over the place. Definitely the male MVP, just showing up, showing out, and leaving a path of destruction and people talking in his wake. Mid-card MVP for the females division is going to be
longest reigning Women's United States Champion,
Chelsea Green. I wish I could give it to Lyra Valkyria because she won the Intercontinental Championship on week 2 of Raw in January. And, Chelsea Green, she won it in December. So it would have been great if Chelsea could have got December's and Lyra could have got January. But unfortunately, she won the title and then nothing happened after that. Just complete silence. And that's definitely Triple H or WWE dropping the ball on the mid-card division on Raw. But on SmackDown, still strong, and Chelsea Green is a credit to it. Piper Niven, though, low-key, might steal that spot one of these months if she continues to be such a character. It's hard to steal the show with Chelsea Green because Chelsea Green is usually the show stealer, but Piper Niven, low-key, looking like that she's going to start stealing the show from Chelsea. But yeah, Chelsea Green, just, even though she did defend her title once against Meacham, I think once, was it twice? I think it might have been twice, actually. But regardless, is not even her having all the matches in the world that is really making her the MVP. It's just her character, her personality just standing out. And like I said, stealing the show, that makes it where every minute that Chelsea Green is on is must-see TV. And that's why she is your MVP of January. I wouldn't be surprised if she becomes the MVP of February too. She's on fire. And who's going to become the MVP of the channel and the first ever Wrestlechop champion? I'm going to give away that belt tonight. But don't worry, if you do not win the belt tonight, I'm not even joking, live stream Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you do not win that belt tonight, well, at 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away another belt. I got the $1 million belt right here. I got an undisputed belt. You can't see it, but it's right over there. I'm giving away belts at every 10,000 subscribers in my quest to quit my day job and actually become a wrestling content creator full time. So tonight, yes, tune in. I'm giving away a belt. You'll see that I'm legit. And then in one more 1,000 subscribers, I'm giving away another belt. We're almost there. All you got to do to enter the 10,000 subscriber contest is comment below. Also, you got to be a subscriber to the channel, hit the bell notification, and if you could, give a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. So yeah, tonight, 8 p.m., and don't forget, comment to win a belt at 10,000. So now we're at the MVP of the tag division. This one, I will either do a men or women. The tag team division is not strong enough to have a men and women MVPs. I wish it were. It's just not. You look at the women's division, and ever since Jade Cargill was jumped and attacked, well, the division has kind of fallen flat. Bianca and Naomi, they are kind of defending it, but it just seems like the stories aren't there. Hopefully Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez starts feuding with Naomi and Bianca, and we can heat that division back up, because I don't want all the hard work of last year to be a waste, because the women's division actually got elevated pretty high. So that said, what about the men's division? I wish I could give it to the New Day. Oh man, the New Day. Oh man, they had so much momentum in December, and it's just kind of been lost. It looks like they're starting to turn it around. The New Day just got some new entrance music. Actually, it's like old entrance music with a new twist. It's really slow, really just like... And so, yeah, taking the things that we used to love about the New Day and turning it sideways and turning it upside down, that's a good restart of their push, and they finally won with the help of Logan Paul, but they did beat the LWO. I didn't like that in singles competition, they lost to Rey Mysterio 2 weeks in a row, or was it Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee? Either way, this push could have been stronger, and unfortunately, they only got one real victory in January. Now, their character work has been on point, but the character work was enough to give them the MVP status of November and December last year, but not enough now, because eventually you do have to start winning. If Chelsea Green was only losing, then she probably wouldn't be an MVP. Her character work can carry her over, but she has victories as well. New Day needs some victories. So that means, who do we got left? DIY would be a very, very solid choice. They have done a lot of character work in a very short time frame, and they're the champions. So oh man, they are so freaking close to being the MVPs. If you want to put them as MVP, there's definitely an argument to be had that they deserve that spot. So who does deserve the spot? Maybe the Motor City Machine Guns? Nope, not at all. Motor City Machine Guns are doing really good in-ring work, but they have not fully connected with the audience at home. It seems like the audience in the arenas are liking them, but it's the TV audience. I haven't found a lot of people really praising the Motor City Machine Guns just yet. I think they'll get there. I think they were just pushed a little too hard. You know, week 2 winning the titles, week 3, I don't know. It's whatever. What happened, but they're close. They're having good matches, but they need to, they need a little more character work. So then who? The Street Profits? Street Profits didn't return until February 1st at the Rumble, so they're not out of it. So if it's not the two teams that are really vying for the titles, then who could it be? Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly. Now, Pretty Deadly is all character work. They are all character work, and they haven't won a lot of matches, but if you look at where Pretty Deadly is in the tag team division, they're kind of like in the middle of everything. Whether it's them not snitching on DIY for attacking the Street Profits, or helping the Street Profits, or trying to fend off the Motor City Machine Guns, or Legado del Fantasma getting mad at them for accusing them of attacking the Street Profits. Everything's revolving around Pretty Deadly right now, and if they play their cards right, this could be a face turn that actually inserts them into the tag team equation, because as of right now, it seems like it's going to be Street Profits, DIY, and Motor City Machine Guns, but if Pretty Deadly can do exactly what they're doing, they might be able to kind of finagle themselves into a fatal 4-way instead of a triple threat dance. So I'm giving it to Pretty Deadly right now. However, like the New Day, they are going to have to start getting victories. So I will give it to them on their character work alone, but if they don't start winning by the end of February, then character work alone alone won't be enough, but right now it is. The main event female, I would love to be Nia Jax, but it is not. Unfortunately, the end of her title reign made her look super weak and ridiculous. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of that happened the months of October through December. That's when Nia Jax started to fall as a champion, but she lost her belt January 3rd, I believe. So that means she lost her title. And it wasn't another 2 or 3 weeks before they started heating her up again and making her look like the monster that she really is. So Nia Jax had a very good recovery and looked really dominant at the end, but the shadow of her title reign and losing the title in the beginning of the month really, really hurt her. But she still, like I said, almost made it, which is a credit to her. Losing her title and still almost being the MVP is definitely a credit. Not giving it to Tiffany. Tiffany had a great start. She outsmarted Nia Jax and won the title with the Money in the Bank, but then it was just interview after interview. And even in her interviews, it's almost like she just stands there while everybody else just interrupts her. This title reign hasn't really done that many favors for her just yet. I'm waiting to see, though. The jury's still out. So who gets it? I wish it could be somebody else, because basically last year they traded back and forth. It was either Liv Morgan or this month's MVP, Rhea Ripley. But how can I deny Rhea Ripley? At the first Raw, she wins the title, right? She wins the title and closes out her feud with Liv Morgan. Then she gets into a program. I forgot. And then The Undertaker comes out and anoints her. And then she gets into a feud with Nia Jax. Nia Jax looking super strong. They take it all the way to Saturday Night Main Event, and on live national TV, she puts on the best match of the night with Nia. And we all know Nia can't wrestle, which I don't believe. That was me being sarcastic. I actually think Nia's doing a great job since she returned. But she's usually not match of the night. And Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax, holy crap, that was good. And Rhea Ripley was able to actually look like a proper face, in that I believe face champions should always be fighting from the bottom, in that they are like, it just seems like, how are they going to overcome the odds and win? And that's what Rhea seemed to have to do, overcome the odds and win. Usually, you put Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, nose to nose, it's going to be like, yeah, Rhea on paper and on just first appearances, first impressions, you're like, Rhea's gonna mop the floor with Liv Morgan. Don't get me wrong, I get it. Liv Morgan outsmarts her and all that stuff, but when you just see it, first impression is Rhea's gonna kill her, but not when it's Rhea and Nia. So yeah, I loved that match, and Rhea looks strong throughout the month, and whether or not she's booked to be Wonder Woman, that's besides the point. Doesn't matter how I feel. All that matters is how I'm looking at it, and she was definitely booked to be the MVP of the females' main event division. So now we go to the main event for the men. There was no PLE in the month of January. The Royal Rumble happened February 1st. There was a Saturday main event, but there was, Gunther versus Jey Uso. I don't feel that Gunther is strong enough yet. I feel that he lost a lot of his aura, and then he didn't appear on Raw for like the first 2 or 3 weeks. He's the champion, not appearing, so when he did finally show up, and he just gets a match with Jey Uso, it didn't feel like it was that important. So, unfortunately, Gunther does not qualify, even though he was the main event of the biggest thing, the closest thing to a PLE. So, who then does get it? I'm gonna say it's a toss-up between Kevin Owens and CM Punk. Both of them pretty much put their prospective matches on their back and was the reason why you were so interested in it. Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens feud is mainly so interesting because of how Kevin Owens is just delusional and crashing out and just like doing all these villainous things. And then there's CM Punk, who was pretty much the guy that was the main focus of the build-up to the Rumble, because John Cena and Roman Reigns didn't even appear. We just knew they were going to be there. And there was a lot of other people saying, hey, I'm going to win the Rumble. Sami Zayn had a story going in, Drew McIntyre. Everybody had a little bit of a story going into the Rumble, but it was really about CM Punk. But the first Raw, though, he beat Seth Rollins in the main event on Netflix. So CM Punk starts off Raw really hot, and then he just goes on a tear throughout January, just saying, I'm going to win the Rumble. The whole focus was about him. Now, did he win the Rumble? Doesn't matter. The Rumble didn't happen in January, so it doesn't matter if he wins or loses. We're talking January, and he was the focus. He was the build of the Royal Rumble. Basically, I need to finish my story. I need to win so I can main event. And he had that final promo with Cody Rhodes, which was just really intense, really awesome.
Unlike all these other people stabbing you in the back, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. I'm going to stab you in the front.
So I'm going to give the MVP to CM Punk, and it's only because the Royal Rumble itself is such a big deal. And yes, Kevin Owens, you are making Cody Rhodes' title reign fun, entertaining, and relevant. I got to give it this month. It's barely, but I'm giving it to CM Punk because the Royal Rumble is so important to WrestleMania, and they pretty much revolved it and advertised it and got us interested through the CM Punk storyline. But Kevin Owens, if it was like it's like 51% CM Punk, 49% Kevin Owens, and I wish I could give it to Kevin Owens. I wish I could make it a tie, but I'm not doing that. I'm not doing ties for the MVPs. CM Punk is your MVP because of all the work he did at the beginning of the month with Seth Rollins and on the road to the Royal Rumble. It was all about CM Punk's journey and his story and his interactions. So there you have it. CM Punk, your male MVP. All right, boys and girls, do you agree? Disagree? Give me your MVPs of January. And remember, don't factor in the Rumble. So if you think that, I don't know, if you think that Meacham should have got it, then put it in the comments below. But you gotta tell me why. You can't just say, oh, Io Sky should have been the MVP. Why should she have been the MVP? You gotta let me know. So guys, girls, have yourselves a beautiful, wonderful day. You are truly the MVPs of this channel. See ya, bye.